Yeah, Merry Christmas to you. Welcome to the Racing Alternative. Oh, what a festive period it has been. It's been purely sensational. The racing has been great, whether you're back to winner or not. Better if you back to winner. So many conclusions we can draw from Kempton and from Leopardstown. I thought it was a superb meeting at Leopardstown. And we've got other sort of mini tittle-tattles to get out of the way as well, including Lord Derbyshire, whose hair is now looking like the biggest bird's nest since Bird's Nest ran against Lanzarote and Mugsfield and Beacons. What's going on there?
You're only jealous. I mean, I've been at the races, so I've not really had time. I mean, I'm sorry. Merry Christmas, and it's nearly New Year.
Yeah,
you could put that in the cupboard for another 51 weeks.
No, there's 12 days. Come on, what are you talking about? 12 days of Christmas. Be merry. And someone
there's one day, and that's bloody too long.
Now, before we talk... Oh, God. Scrooge is in the house. Before we go on to Racing All Matters, welcome to the Racing Alternative. Of course, we're in conjunction with NRG. Good to have them on board, as always. And we wish everybody there a Merry Christmas, because if we don't, we won't get paid. And word has it on the grapevine, and it's a huge grapevine, that you love eating crisps, but you cannot stand a potato. So at Christmas, you did not have a roast potato in goose fat. What the hell is that about?
They're just horrible things, aren't they? Ugh.
Something happened in
I can't eat potatoes.
Something happened in your childhood, didn't it?
I've absolutely no idea. I mean, they have dishes like hot pot up here and all these other, rancid things. And it's worse when you go for somebody, and people love taking me to McDonald's because I just have a bloody burger. Say, have the chips.
Okay, mate. Well, we wish you the best
Yeah.
of luck. I actually will bring you
Yeah.
a packet of Albert Bartlett when I see you next at the race course. Let's get on to...
Probably paid for from your work at Cheltenham.
Yeah, absolutely, kid. Absolutely. King George, of course, we love looking forward to. We've spoken about the potential future and also at Kempton Park. And it was a race where excitement was fueled to the max. But what did you take from the King George? To be honest with you, I didn't take an awful lot. I thought 2 or 3 horses were ridden really poorly. And the other thing I thought about the race was the winner, he cannot win a Gold Cup. He cannot win a Gold Cup at all.
Yeah, but I said he couldn't win a King George. I mean, first, but I got the race completely wrong. I thought I did not give him a hope in hell. I'll be honest with you. It was a great spectacle, wasn't it? It's another sort of feather in the cap of Kempton shouldn't close because you wouldn't have got that finish. I mean, imagine that being run at Aintree with the last 3 fences omitted. I think that's the first thing. What I took from it was I thought Django By went via the BP garage on the main road. I didn't think it was a great ride at all, and I think I can the clamour of criticism for Nico is getting a little bit louder. Yes. And probably wisely so. At the end of the day, Django By was only beaten half a length. I don't know how the Jukebox managed to rally and win. I think they've got to go for the Gold Cup with it. There's some talk of the Ryanair. If it was up to me, the Ryanair wouldn't exist. Let me tell you.
Yeah, why would we go for the Ryanair if he's just won the King George? And connections feel he stays really well. He's got a really good attitude. He stays well. I have a feeling, though, I don't know what you think, Stephen, that he's a better horse on a flatter track.
Yeah. Well, look, his improvement has come on flat tracks, but don't forget, he did run well, of course, when second in an Albert Bartlett.
Yes.
So he's proved he goes around Cheltenham. I don't think he'll win a Gold Cup. I think Django By's a chance in the Gold Cup, but we'll come on to the Gold Cup a little bit more later. But I would have reservations. I thought Django By got pretty tight into some of those fences. I don't know what you thought.
I agree with you. And what was very interesting, when you have a look at the race readers that do the King George, yeah, Nearly every horse has in there Banbridge, Keen, Gaelic Warrior, Keen, Django By, Keen, Factor File, Keen. They didn't go all that quick early on, which played against all of them. And I thought you mentioned about not going to be given a great ride, Nico de Bourville and Django. I thought Charlie Deutschgage Jallo, an absolutely appalling ride. He had no chance of what were pretty ordinary sectionals, in the middle parts of the race when they kind of slowed up. He had no chance from off the pace.
No, and then they just put the gas on, didn't they?
Yeah. So it wasn't a fast run, King George. I don't think you can draw many conclusions from it, to be fair.
No, I'd agree with you. I thought Django By ran, but I thought that was the conclusion I made. It certainly wouldn't put me off him for the Gold Cup.
No, and the Gold Cup is hugely wide open as it stands, and that's a lovely stepping stone, I think, to Leopardstown, which I always enjoy.
You missed one, sir. You've missed a race at Kempton.
Oh, what, the Christmas hurdle?
Yeah, I think that merits
much of a talking point. Really?
Well, I'll tell you one thing it did do.
What?
Is it just sort of... I was getting pissed off with these people saying, "Oh, Golden Ace just turns up and wins." Well, it shut them up, didn't it? I have to say, Golden Ace was put firmly in her place. I think Sergino will win the champion hurdle. There you go.
Well, there's a beaten Golden Ace hands down, Stephen, despite ballooning the first 4 hurdles. I think he was offensive. So I think you have to factor that into the end result as well, that his superiority was greater than the winning distance, to be fair.
Yeah. So I think in a very weak division, I think I know we're sort of flip-flopping over the Irish Sea here, but they did say yesterday, as good as they think Lossiemouth will go to the mares, which is another race that shouldn't exist because it's like a release valve. It's what is it? It's just a consolation prize. It should be a 0 to 150. But I think Sergino was very impressive, and I think he'll win the champion hurdle.
You think he can give the weight away to Lossiemouth, yeah?
I'm not sure Lossiemouth will run.
I think she will run, but my problem with Lossiemouth is the champion hurdles run on the old track, and she's a better horse, and always has been on the new course at Cheltenham, and by some way as well.
Oh, I don't think she'll run in the champion hurdle.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah,
and rather like the Stayers hurdle, it's turning into a rather a non-event. Let's go to Leopardstown, one of my favourite tracks to visit in Dublin, and the Savills Chase. Now, that was a quite extraordinary race, because although Affordable Fury at times Galopin Des Champs dabbled with him for the lead, I never thought Affordable Fury was put under any pressure at all, and I thought he had a relatively easy time out in front and got first run on his rivals there. And the very fact that Iron Maximus was beaten 2.5 lengths in the race leads me to a conclusion that it wasn't a great Gold Cup trial, with the current Gold Cup winner finishing well below par, and Gavin Cromwell saying, "Well, I didn't think he was going from the second fence onwards." And it's another...
Well, neither did Betfair.
Yeah.
But in the race.
Yeah, and another example of the Willie Mullins team. They didn't really gang up on Affordable Fury because they probably thought he wasn't going to be a danger to them winning. But in the end, they ignored the winner, I think, to a certain extent, and continued Sam Ewing's amazing meeting at Leopardstown. What did you garner from? What did you conclude from the Savills, Stephen?
Well, I can't... there's a lot of people who, some of them are pretty good judges. Don't forget, Galopin will be 10 in a couple of days.
Yeah.
That's too old. You don't get 10-year-olds winning. When was the last 10-year-old to win a bloody Gold Cup? I think it might have been Cool Daughter, something like that. So I think that's the first point, and I thought he was beaten. I think it is absolutely batshit crazy that we have, I know the way you're thinking, who's shown the sum total of absolutely bugger all this year, and Gallopin Deschamps, who's nearly as old as you, as the first to win the betting for the Gold Cup.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. But you see, at the moment, I don't want to have back in the Gold Cup. I don't want to touch the Gold Cup. But I tell you what, there were plenty of Grand National clues in the Savills Chase. I am Maximus, the obvious one, but I thought further down. I thought the two going forward for the Grand National were Grange Clare West, who ran an unbelievable race in this year's National. Unbelievable race, staying on best of all.
Yes.
And the other one I've always thought was a Grand National horse, always thought, and I'm glad to see him come back to some kind of form, was Monty Star, who I think's Monto, a deep, deep test of stamina. He's not a Gold Cup horse. He's not up to that grade at all, but I think he'll handle Aintree, and I think he'll get on a good mark compared to the other Irish horses that will be entered in the race. In other words, the battalion for Willie Mullins. I think he'll get a semi-nice racing weight as well. I believe that's what Henry is aiming for ultimately, is going to be the Grand National. I'm hoping beyond all hope that he doesn't run him in the Gold Cup at Cheltenham.
Problem with Grange Clare West should have won the National last year, by the way.
Agree. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it.
The problem with Grange Clare is it's got an official rating of 164, and that isn't going to change.
But I am Maximus and Nick Rocket. They're rated at least as high as him, if not higher, come the Grand National when you take course form into account, which is why I'm hoping that all of them run, and that's why I will be on Monty's. I backed him straight afterwards. I couldn't believe his price on Betfair. So it's a long-term fancy.
You don't, but Jesus Christ, I tell you, that is something I have never had an anti-post bet this far out of the National.
Well, you're missing out on value, VFM, value for money.
Yes, and obviously with the reduced limit and things, yeah, maybe I should take a leaf out of your Scouse book.
Well, you just keep your car parked in the garage, otherwise there'll be trouble from you, from my fellow mate. Tell me very quickly, Stephen, what you thought. T. Hoo won the Christmas hurdle, the Stayers Hurdle at Leopardstown. What are you making of the Stayers Hurdle scene at the moment? I mean, it's all over the place. Surely there's got to be something to beat T. Hoo, isn't there?
I've had a bet. I had a bet this week.
Oh, have you bet Walter?
Correct.
I knew you. Oh my God, you haven't told me, have you? Before?
No.
I think he's not. If he slooshes up in the Rail Keel, I think he'll be a 2-1 favourite for the Stayers Hurdle.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think there's a pretty good chance of that happening. I think the race is just begging for something, a little bit more. Well, just not exposed. You want something fresh in there. The current crops, they're just a bit like gone off milk, aren't they? Have you ever left a glass of cordial or something overnight and the next morning it tastes a bit shitter? It's a bit like that.
No, I've never done that kind of thing. So I don't know where you came that from, and I'm really worried for you, Lord Derbyshire, as far as that is concerned.
Just take a drink up to bed and think, oh, well, about that. I like a Rose's lime cordial.
Eh?
I take a Rose's lime cordial to bed, and and what happens is the next morning it just doesn't taste quite as good.
What do you have with that? A Hovis cheese biscuit as well?
No, just that with water. I'll tell you what, it reinvigorates your life. You couldn't look like me after it.
Well, I think I'll stay away from it if that's what happens. Listen, I'm going to break up this conversation by saying NLG Bet bringing you the energy back in sports betting because they are. Give a visit to NLG.bet with all the markets and features you would expect from a top bookie, as well as daily NLG boosts. And of course, you can back our tips as well with NLG, who will put up a price for you. How did our tips do last week, Stephen?
Well, it rhymes with mash.
But yeah, well, Best Bet both ran in the same race at Sedgefield, didn't it? I thought mine...
Yes, we couldn't get the bloody winner. Mine just did not jump. And of course, Becky had a winner earlier on. So well done to Becky. And yours was hammered in. I was at Sedgefield, hammered in, and just thought I pointed, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought it was going to win the last.
I thought it was going to win.
But it didn't. So it doesn't matter anymore, does it? And that's one of the interesting things about racing. You look back and you look forward, What are you thinking looking back over the last 12 months of racing? What sort of makes you all happy inside, warm inside, apart from thinking about Rebecca Curtis? What makes you warm inside over the last 12 months?
Well done. What's made me warm inside? I think it's. I did like. I mean, people will hate this. I thought Kira winning the Sussex really upset the bloody apple cart. I thought that was absolutely.
I thought it was so refreshing.
Yes, I thought it was bloody fantastic, and of course I did have a bet in the race, but it shut people up. I think 2025. What he did show, in fairness, is when faced with absolute adversity or perceived adversity, racing can pull together, and whether you like it or not, that campaign was effective.
Yes, it was.
So that was good. So there's stuff to build on now. Now, my message to Lord Allen, who was in the paper again with his word salad. I mean, I'm not being funny, but why the hell do we have to call him Lord Allen? Does anyone know his first name?
Well, I'm sure he has a first name, but
why don't we call him his first name? Whatever his name, Derek or.
He likes to be doffed out. It's like all these Blue Boy stories, isn't it?
No, but I think that is part of the problem.
It is.
It's Charles. Of course, it's Charles. It's named after the. Yeah. So Charles, if you're watching this, get off your arse and do something. All we've had is just a series of words. I go racing most days. I haven't seen him on a bloody race course. He comes in. He utters a few things. Nothing has happened hitherto. So that's one thing I hope for 2026. I hope Kempton stays open from what we've discussed earlier. And I think we're reaching the point. It's it's like a kettle boiling, and if you can imagine, it's about to bloody explode. This bloody kettle. About the fixture list. I think we need to have a very serious conversation about the fixture list. And that will involve, I'm afraid, racecourses saying fixtures are assets. Some of them need to be culled. Seriously.
Totally agree with you. I would say, from my point of view, is that racing has always been a class sport. And the point you made, we need to integrate more. Those at the top need to integrate with the people lower down who put all their money into the sport. The punters, first and foremost, because we've said so many times, no sport without the punters. Nice to see that Epsom are being positive about the future for the Derby, and they're going to open up the hill for free, because I remember in my younger days, you'd have 120,000 at Epsom, and now you're looking to get 10, 15,000. We have to try and bring it back to its glory days, when all the glory winners were, and make it the centre of the racing world. But that also begins, never mind about attendance and paying less to get in, they have to shove the prize money up even more, to attract horses from around the world. You'll never get a global star at Epsom. It's all England and Ireland, UK and Ireland. When's the last time we got a really good horse from Asia over? We never have one. Even the French don't send the horses there anymore. We have to up the ante with the Derby. It is one of the jewels in the crown, and we have to make more of it. But I'm really glad about the positive take that the executive of Epsom are doing. They're positive. They're thinking forward for the first time in a long, long time, Stephen. And that fills me with a bit of joy.
Well, I'm about to piss on your bonfire slightly. I think the problem with the Derby is more a perception thing for breeding. If you win a Derby, perversely, if you win a French Derby, you'll be worth more at stud, ceteris paribus, than winning an English Derby, generally. Because they don't want stamina. So I think that's a problem the race has. So, they probably need to talk to breeders about how they breed horses. I used to actually go with a silver and bookmaker. Good God, it must be 20 years ago now. I know I don't look old enough. Yeah. To the hill at Epsom, and it was bloody busy then. And there was a great buzz. I remember being there when Authorised won, and I would tell him.
It It was exciting, Stephen.
Yes, it was. It was. We used to get up at 4 a.m., go to Epsom, have a bloody good day, and go to the pub at night, get back at about 11, go to the pub and get absolutely pissed.
I used to take my family with me,
Days.
my kids with me. I remember one day, right? I was back workforce at 50-1 for the derby, right? And I remember taking my kids there, and I gave them 25 quid each, and they said, "What will I put it on?" And I said to them, "Well, workforce is too short now, but I'll give you a percentage on my winnings if it wins." And of course, it absolutely pisses up in a course record time. And I run up and down the hill going, "Yeah, workforce." And then my son comes up and he's like crying his eyes out, and he kicked me because he didn't let me back workforce on the day. I said, "It's okay. I'm going to give you a percentage of my winnings from 50-1. Made no difference. Great ambience, all the stalls, all the people, all the rides on the fair. Amazing. Just an amazing day, a national day. I want it back. I want it back now.
Yes. Well said. Well said. Did you back in for the Ark?
I did, yes, as well, yeah.
Yes, so did I.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't it great reminiscing back 15, 16 years of horses we backed, and that was probably our last bloody winner.
It probably was. Now, listen, we've mentioned the lovely Rebecca Curtis, who we tried to get on the programme, but she wouldn't answer my phone call. So let's reflect on Haiti Colours and the Welsh National, the Coral Welsh National, and an absolute peach of a ride from Sean Bowen, who realised they weren't going quick enough for the circuit to go, and swinging into the home stretch with well over a circuit, he said, "You know what? Damn this. I'm going for the jugular here. I'm going to make this a test of stamina." And boy, that's won the day for this giant horse, hasn't it? Back on track.
Yes.
That's what
I mean, it's another of these staying chases. So we've seen it with the Hennessy. We've now seen it with the Welsh National. There was a race at Haydock today, by the way, where the winners just made all. A lot of these races, especially on the better ground, you have to race prominently, and that was borne out, and that I think is what Sean did. Personally, I mean, I didn't criticise Rebecca. I just questioned the logic on this programme of going to the Welsh National immediately after Haydock. But she's the font of all things.
She got it right, and Sean Bowen got the fractions right. And it's all right you saying, well, on good ground you need a horse that races prominently, and I get that. I think that you're entitled to that opinion. I think it's a very worthy opinion as well. But you only win if you race prominently or lead in a race if you've got a jockey on board that can get the fractions right. Because if they go too quick, you're buggered. If you get them right, as you say, you've got more of a chance. And he was perfect on the horse.
Yeah, and I've thought this for the past few years. These new whip rules as well, I don't think they're conducive really to hold up horses. But they're not new now, but there seems to be, anecdotally, a lot more sort of prominent or front runners winning.
I know you're a great fan of Rebecca Curtis, but what about her Welsh National colleague, Di Jones?
No, I mean, look, this is the second time this year, actually. This is the second time this year this has been that the Chepstow ground has been called wrong. It was officially, I think it was good to soft or good on at the October meeting. He was near a bloody firm then. It was, at best, it was good to firm in places. And again, how do we know this? Well, the Times tell you. You know, horses cannot run a Welsh Grand National in 7 minutes 52 seconds on good to soft ground. It is a physical impossibility. It's like me saying I'm going to beat Usain Bolt in a bloody race up this street. It doesn't happen. So I think there needs to be a level of culpability with these erroneous going reading. So James Sanderson went on another pod, the bar stewards, I'll name them, and said I've added one to the going stick. Now I didn't particularly like that, but I think in terms of culpability, that is a hell of a lot less than getting a major meeting like the Welsh National completely and utterly wrong. And just to illustrate the point a little bit more, Chepstow race on Sunday this week. As of 8:34 this morning on the 30th of December, it is still officially good to soft in places, despite there being no rain or no irrigation in the last 7 days. So, it's still being wrong now. I mean, if you make mistakes, at least that's how you become a better punter. And I would hope it was the same for Clark's. If you make a mistake, bloody well learn from it. I mean, Chepstow at the moment will be good to firm in places, or even good to firm good in places. Certainly not
you become a better
in places.
In life, isn't it? You know, you make mistakes, you rectify them, you try something different. It's the law of life that you do. Well, yeah, I agree with you. I'm really annoyed. And God forbid a horse had gone lame and maybe it had to be put down because of the ground in the Welsh National. I mean, I think they're very lucky to have got away with that, big time. And I just wonder what's going on behind the scenes where anybody senior for the BHA has mentioned anything directly to Di.
Well, find them. Find the cause. That is the only way we're going to get out of this stupid situation. You know what? If you get it so far wrong outside so many seconds, when you take into all the rail movements, find the course, 10 grand. I'll tell you what, they won't happen it again. They won't do it again. I mean, part of it is trainers wouldn't declare in a Welsh National on good to firm in places.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely spot on. Let's move on. Into the new year we go. And this week, of course, some really good racing. Cheltenham's New Year's Day. There are other meetings available. And I see that you've put on X all the different entry to get into all the different race courses. It was interesting. Musselburgh, sold out. Amazing.
Sold out.
Great news.
Sold out.
Great news. One of the nicest run tracks in the country and one of the friendliest tracks of the country. Although whether they are managing to challenge your beloved Wolverhampton, I do not know. Now, we talked about the Stayers Hurdle and a chance for Cabral Dumathan to put down a yardstick in the 2:35 at Cheltenham. I take it you think he's going to win there. You've jumped the gun by taking a price on him. What price did you get, Mr. Derbyshire?
It was 12.
Okay, that's very fair. I think it's very fair. And Dan Skelton's adamant that he wants a distance of ground. So whatever he does in the Rel Keel, he will obviously improve on. I thought was very interesting was the 2.5 mile handicap chase at 2 o'clock. And interesting that Harry Skelton has chosen to ride Twin Jets over Il Ridotto with a £7 claimer, Freddie Keithley on board. Of course, is interesting that in the past, from that stable, Harry has sometimes chosen wrong. I think Il Ridotto is down to a very low mark here, and with Freddie taking £7 off, and the key to his chance is the good ground and not going forward too early. He's gone forward too early in the Paddy Power, too early in the December Gold Cup. He needs to be held on to be mid-division or at best a presser, and I think he's got a great chance of landing that very valuable prize.
I'm sorry, he's gone at the game.
Well, I disagree. I just think he's been written.
I think he's gone at the game, and Mr. Jacobs,
yeah,
you are very contradictory, because I remember you coming on here saying, why didn't they serve it up to Glenn Gourley?
Yeah, no, but he was ridden prominently behind Glenn Gourley, and then he was pulled back a little bit, and then he was pulled back because he ran very free. He was set alight in the opening fences, down the centre of the track, and then he kind of pulled back again. Now, I didn't want him to put it down to Glenn Gourley. I wanted other horses to put it down to Glenn Gourley. And if the jockeys make the same mistake again in the second consecutive race over the same course and distance, they should all be shoved into the steward's room and be fed the food that we get in the burger bars at Cheltenham. That'll bloody teach them, won't it?
Well, it will. I thought you were going to say something else. I tell you what, I had a bet in this yesterday.
Go on.
I didn't. My friend had a bet because obviously, I bet Moon d'Orange anti-post at 25. I thought that was far too big, certainly based on his win here back in January. And, he's shown he goes around here, and I just thought the mark was coming down. They've been piddling around over too far. I think it's about the right price now.
No, they're not being cheating. They've been cheating. Within the rules. Let me
within the rules.
Within the rules. Lots of trainers do it. Yes. You can't run a horse on the wrong ground over the wrong distance. And many people say, well, it's within the rules. You're just trying to get the mark down. But in essence, it's not.
Well, quite. But I thought 25s was too big. And I might back Grandeur down. I mean, I think the price for Under Orange now is correct. I think the price for Grandeur Dam probably, I'm not sure I'll buy. Alan King's horses aren't running terribly well at the moment, and that rather tempers my enthusiasm. Do you know what? It wouldn't completely surprise me if Glenn Gooley just went turn, shoot, go.
I just don't think King gets home over that course and distance, to be fair. What's your best bet? What's your best bet this week, then? Tell us. Don't mess around.
Well, I'll put two up. I think, although the Kaluki kid ran in the Colin Parker, which I remember discussing at the time with you, and he's now going for the old Riki Chase at Musselburgh. I thought that was a perfectly good run. I know he finished last, but he ran above his mark. You know, this horse was running against Gidley Park and Django Pie at Aintree, was predictably outclassed there. But I was at Musselburgh for Scottish Trials meeting, and he absolutely wazzed up there. I mean, he really did, and he enjoyed himself. So I think he'll win the old Riki. He's about 5-2, 11-4. I can take that. I think that's fair. What at a bigger price? I'll be at Royal Windsor on New Year's Day, and their feature race is on ITV, and fair play. First year of this meeting back at Windsor. They used to race there 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I looked at the race earlier. I was surprised Wellington Archer was 12-1. Okay, he's not had a run. He's been a non-runner twice on soft ground. Go figure the reason. He's back on better ground. I thought he won a really good race at Aintree, you know. Yes, the handicappers reacted, but he just might be a better horse now. I don't think 1-3-3's beyond him. John Joe is in fantastic form. I roughly did the prices in my hand, and I thought he should be 6 or 7, not 12.
Okay.
So I'm back Wellington Arch.
Yeah, I think that's really good. My best bet's going to be at Cheltenham, New Year's Day, 3:10 in the Staying Handicap hurdle. A lot of people will give Marchand 2 another chance after his impressive success on the old course. He ran below par at Haydock. He's still £9 higher in the weights. But I don't think he can beat Ace of Spades, who ran a strange race at Haydock himself, going well, turning out the backstretch, badly outpaced turning for home, and then ran on late in the day. I think the Skeletons have been aiming him at this race, and I think they'll have a punt on Ace of Spades in the 3:10 at Cheltenham, and I'll make him my best bet of the whole week by a long, long way. There's never a certainty in racing, but if there is one, he could well be it.
Oh, that is very strong. I mean, I'd say I looked at the weekend's racing. I don't know if you've looked at it, and I was just completely and utterly unenamored by it. You've got that Veterans Chase at Sandown, which used to be a great race, and there's not enough entered in it. So my plan for Saturday is absolutely being tie-boss, because I'll do Windsor, then Ayr, and then if there is an inspection at Newcastle, I will sort of amble my way south and go M6, M5, and then hope Sandown's on. And then if Sandown inspect again, I'll go to Wincanton. If they both inspect again, I'll sort of head to the Sandown area. And if that's off, I'll go to Lingfield.
I'm surprised
anything is possible on Saturday.
I'm surprised that you're not going to Alicante races over the Christmas New Year.
Alicante? Oh, the wife loves a trip to Benidorm.
If there was racing there. We'd like to thank everybody all the way through in our initial few episodes, of course, for watching the Racing Alternative. And if you have any ideas, any suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. We will in the new year be getting listeners on live on the programme. We'll be having some big hitting guests as well, apart from Lord Derbyshire in his Audi diesel. So with any ideas, however bold, however radical they are, Stephen, we want to hear about them, don't we?
Yes, the Racing Alternative at gmail.com. Do do email us with constructive suggestions and no riffraff.
Okay, New Year's resolutions. What are you doing very quickly before we go?
Oh, I don't make New Year's resolutions. Don't be ridiculous. I mean, New Year's resolutions are for people who think that there's something wrong with their life. I'm absolutely fine.
Okay, well, I think I'm going to do one for you. I think Stephen Derbyshire is going to try a roast potato, and in 2026, I'm going to try and learn Italian. Finally.
Oh, wow. Oh, great. I don't desire to do either of those. My 5-year-old tries to feed. She goes, Daddy. And she finds it absolutely hilarious. So there we are.
I know you had a lovely Indian tonight, so I do feel sorry for your wife if you go to bed at the same time. But thank you for everything you've done.
The lime cordial appeases.
Thank you for everything you've done at the podcast.
Yes, thank you.
And to our producer, director, and a workhorse, Adam, as well, who's been brilliant for us. And hopefully you will join us again in 2026, where we'll bring you even better content, we hope, here on the Racing Alternative. Stephen, have a great new year, young man.
Yes, Happy New Year to you, sir. Be drunk and merry.